welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Valerie JV, your international student tita. Okay, for today's video, I'm going to share with you how I created or prepared my GTE statement. So GTE means genuine temporary entrant. This is also called the statement of purpose. When you apply for a student visa in Australia, there is no interview. This GTE will serve as your interview. Dito mo ini-introduce yung self mo, yung reasons mo why you intend to study in Australia. So dito mo sinusulat or nilalahad-lahat ng reasons mo kung bakit gusto mong mag-apply ng student visa at gusto mong mag-study in Australia. There's nothing really special about my GTE statement. Gusto ko lang siyang i-share through this video kasi marami pong nagme-message sa akin kung pwede ko bang i-share yung GTE statement ko sa kanila. However, I really cannot, send it right away kasi it's personal information, may mga confidential na mga things written. So, I've decided na I'll share it na lang kung paano ko siya prepare, kung paano ko siya in-outline, and paano ko nilahad yung mga bagay-bagay. This is not my idea originally. This is from a friend. Nung shinare niya yung GTE niya sa akin, when I read it, I realized, wow, this is good. Kasi parang may topic yung headings. So whenever, basahin ng case officer yung GTE statement mo, alam niya what the paragraphs or, that part is all about. Kasi the heading will serve as the topic. And then if ever man, for example, na kailangan niyang i-check ulit yung GTE statement mo, may na-remember siya na nabasa or something, alam niya kung saan na siya agad pupunta. Hindi na niya kailangang anong page yun or saang part yun kasi may headings or alam niya kung ano yung nakasulat sa part. As a first-time applicant and yung friend ko granted siya. So, naisip ko na parang effective kasi granted siya eh. But, it all boils down to ano yung sinulat mo or paano mo siya sinulat yung mga information. So, sa personal background, I started it with my full name, birth date, nationality, and yung current address ko. I have also included the course and the school where I intend to study. And then, although I'm going to finance my studies with, savings plus sa work ko, sabi nung agent ko, mas better if may isusulat kang sponsor. So, I wrote down my partner kasi businessman siya. So, sinulat ko din yung, just a brief description of his business. I have kids, but they're not coming with me. So, I just introduced them, their names, age, anong ginagawa nila, if nag-school ba sila. And then, sinulat ko yung reason kung bakit hindi sila sasama sa akin. So, sinabi ko na temporary lang naman yung studies, babalik din naman ako after 2 years. And then, si partner may business, hindi niya kayang iwan. Mas kaya niya pa akong iwan. So, yun, sinabi ko yung reason na temporary lang naman. And then, wala akong, intention na magstay. Uuwi ako ng Pilipinas after kasi nandun yung family ko. And then also, a brief introduction about, my family, my parents, siblings, age nila, anong ginagawa nila ngayon as well. Sa educational and employment background naman, of course, sinulat ko saan ako nag-primary, what year ko siya natapos, saan ako nag-high school, saan ako nag-college, what year ko sila natapos. And then, also, very important, if ever may study gap, explain mo na lang. Kasi possible grounds of refusal. Pag may nakita ang CO na study gap, at hindi mo siya na-explain kung bakit may study gap. The same with the employment background. yung first job ko, sinulat ko at what year, ano yung role ko, and then so on and so forth. Hindi ko na nilahad-lahat. Sinulat ko na lang yung first, and then yung pinakamahabang work experience ko, which is yung current work ko ngayon. So, yun, sinulat ko lang. And then the same thing with the educational background. If ever my work gap, let's say, even 4 months lang or a year maybe, isulat mo na lang kung bakit may work gap, kung bakit wala kang work on, you know, those months or those years or a year, para avoid na ma-refuse. Kasi meron talagang refusals na nagsistate na may study gap, may work gap. So, the COs found it, you know, questionable kung nasan ka nung mga months na yun or years na yun. So yun, isulat mo. Sa third heading naman, itong why I chose to study in Australia. Of course, nag-research ako kung gaano kaganda, gaano ka-excellent yung quality education ng Australia, kung bakit pinipili siya more ng international students compared to other countries na magaganda din naman yung educational system. So, in-explain ko doon. Kasama na rin yung reason ko, personal reason ko, kung bakit pinili ko si Australia na country to study. Sa part naman na why I chose my intended course, ni-research ko talaga siya. From the time na sinuggest siya ng agent sa akin, ni-research ko talaga siya. If, you know, for example, God forbid, Australia won't work out, you know, para sa akin, magagamit ko pa rin ba talaga siya sa current role ko? Or what are the other, you know, outcomes, especially sa occupation? So, what are the occupational outcomes aside sa current, you know, role ko ngayon? To just make everything worth it. Kasi gastos pa rin yan eh. Mag-suspend ka ng money aside from your time. So, yun. Yung course ko kasi is Graduate Diploma of Management Learning. Wala siyang PR pathway unless ma-hire ako as manager. Yun yung sinabi ng agent ko. If merong company na willing to hire me as, you know, any managerial position and willing to sponsor, that's the only way na makakapag PR ako or working visa. So, yun, as much as I really wanted to aim the PR pathway, dun na lang muna ako sa safe kasi inline naman talaga siya sa work experience ko sa degree ko sa Philippines. That's why I don't get discouraged if ever may mabasa man ako or someone would tell me na, uy, walang PR pathway yung course mo, mag-shift ka na when you get there. No, kasi ni-research ko siya. Iba-iba kasi yung situation natin. Ito, in my case ha, ni-research ko siya in a way na if ever, wag naman sana, hindi mag-work out sa Australia, magagamit ko pa ba din siya dito sa Philippines? And it will for me kasi useful siya sa current role ko, and marami din namang higher occupational outcomes na pwede kong makamit once I have, you know, completed this. So there, yun yung sinabi ko dun sa part na yun, sa why I chose my intended course. Kasi yun naman yung goal, di ba? Para maipakita mo sa case officer or sa IMI na magiging beneficial talaga siya after mo makapag-study, and magiging beneficial siya, you know, pagbalik mo or pag-uwi mo sa Philippines. Next one, why I chose to study in Brisbane, yung city ko, and plan for accommodation. So yun, nag-research yung student tita nyo ng magagandang things about Brisbane. So sinabi ko na it's part of the top 10 safest cities in the world. And then, nung June kasi, yun yung peak ng mga news about mass shootings. So, sinabi ko na safety is one of the most important, factors to consider. And then, sinulat ko din na strict yung gun ban laws in Australia. That's why I feel safer, yung mga ganon. Also, yung weather. Brisbane is a subtropical paradise. Philippines is a tropical country. So, similar lang yung climate. Hindi ako gaanong mag-a-adjust. And then yung time. Kasi in Queensland in Brisbane, DST or Daylight Saving Time is no longer in use. So, hindi nag-a-adjust yung time. So, if like sa Cebu or like sa Philippines, 2 hours ahead yung Brisbane, hindi yan nag-change. Unlike, Sydney, they're going to be an hour backward or an hour forward, the same sa Melbourne. But in Brisbane, they don't practice the DST. So yun, sinabi ko na hindi ako mag-a-adjust, sa time kasi DST is no longer in use. Ito also, sa pag-research ko, nabasa ko na sa 3 cities, pinakamura talaga na si Brisbane. So, yun, sinabi ko na, aside from having, the finest schools in the world, exciting career opportunities, amazing transportation system, an enviable outdoor lifestyle that makes Brisbane the one to beat, the cost of living is not that expensive. So, yun, sinabi ko, very very practical for an international student, especially me na wala akong relatives sa Australia, wala akong family doon. So in terms of budget, I think carry lang si Brisbane for me. Yun yung sinabi ko about why I chose Brisbane and then plan for accommodation. Also, by the way, sa accommodation na part, ni-research ko na magkano ba yung expenses per month ng isang international student sa Brisbane. So yun, nilagay ko din yun, and then sinabi ko na meron namang mga cheap accommodations na worth it naman talaga sa bulsa. Sa next part na why I chose to study in mention mo na lang yung school mo. Ni-research ko, of course, yung school. Kumuha ako ng screenshots ng mga review ng students nila. Makikita mo yan sa Google. Or, if your school has, a Facebook page, tingnan mo yung reviews, kunin mo yung magagandang reviews from the students. I got 2 screenshots from different, students. And then also, ni-research ko din yung ano ba yung school in terms of treating their international students, yung programs nila, yung assistance nila. Plainly, yung mga ginagawa lang ng schools for their students, especially yung international students. And the last part, the most important part, my future plans and expected benefits after I finish my studies in Australia. So, dito mo na talaga ibuhos lahat ng energy mo. I mean, it's the most important part kasi dito nila tinitingnan, how is this really going to benefit you once, you return to your home country? So, there, and explain ko kung ano yung magiging benefit nung course na to or ng studies na to when I go back to the Philippines. Also, I tried to be, very specific. Sinabi ko sa kanila yung short-term plans ko, and then sinabi ko din sa kanila yung long-term plans ko. So, they will know na this is really going to benefit her. Kasi, if hindi man mag-work out yung short-term, my long-term, or the other way around, if ever matagal niyang ma-achieve tong long-term, it's going to be useful kasi may short-term plan siya. So, yun yung ginawa ko. Pinakita ko talaga sa kanila how this is really going to, benefit me. ito, isang realization while I was writing my GTE statement. It's super natural to write everything down when it's really in line with your work experience or your course or degree in the Philippines. Kasi hindi ka na, gumagawa ng ibang rason or come up with a story na hindi naman talaga nangyari sa life mo or napagdaanan mo. So, nag-agree talaga ako sa agent ko na yes, very, very easy lang talaga making the GTE statement if, in line. Kasi you're just being really honest eh. It's really going to be a lot more stressful, especially if mag-shift ka or mag-change ka ng course or iba yung course mo dun. Kasi you'll have to really defend it why ito yung course na kukunin mo at hindi yung previous related sa course mo, yung ganon. But everything will work out naman as long as you really just write everything down. Dapat walang butas talaga na makita yung case officer. Ito, isang tip. Ito yung ginawa ko. Be the case officer of your own GTE statement. So, pagkatapos mong masulat yung GTE statement mo, before mo siya isend sa agent mo, or let's say na-review na ng agent na gustuhan niya, review it again. Be the CEO of your GTE statement. Basahin mo. Question your own GTE if makatotohanan ba, realistic, or wala bang butas in everything you write. Be the reviewer. Be the final reviewer. Before mo siya pirmahan, iscan, at isend sa agent mo as your final GTE, be the CO. You'll feel it eh. The satisfaction. Every line was just so worth it na, okay to. Kung ako yung CO nito, name ko palang approve na to. Yung ganong feeling. So, dapat, before mo siya pirmahan at, scan, send to agent, dapat walang doubts, yung ganon. Walang, okay ba to? Bahala na. No room for that, really. Gusto natin ng sure ball. Kasi, mahal yung gastos. Yung effort mo din, masasayang. So, dapat talaga i-review mo. I was so satisfied with my GTE to the point na hindi ko talaga naisip na ma-refuse ako. Honestly. So, ganun ko talaga siya ni-review. I really worked hard for it. Maraming revisions ang naganap. Maraming, back and forth sending namin ng agent ko to really just strengthen my GTE statement. When we lodged na my visa, plainly waiting game, I can still remember, telling my agent, I can feel it, my visa's just around the corner. Yun yung palagi kong sinasabi talaga sa kanya. Mararamdaman mo eh. So yun yung palagi kong sinasabi sa agent na, Miss, my visa's just around the corner lang talaga. I'll just wait for the immigration to complete the backlogs, to finish the backlogs, and then mine will come. I can feel it eh. It's just around the corner. I think it's coming na. Yun ganun. Yun palagi kong iniisip every day. Although it took, 2 months. May anxiety then, of course. Kasi hindi naman talaga madali mag-wait. Especially, hindi mo alam kung kailan darating. But that energy, that fire, di talaga siya nawala. Ganun ako kasatisfied sa sinamit ko ng mga documents, especially my GTE. So, ganun ako ka-confident sa sinulat ko. I'm going to share a template of my GTE. Make it your guide. Download it. I'll paste the link in the description box below. feel free to download it, make it your guide when you create your GTE or revise your GTE statement. Walang bayad yan. As long as you like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. So I hope may natutunan kayo sa video na to and you enjoyed watching or listening to me. Please don't forget to share, like, subscribe para happy tayong lahat. Okay, so this is Valerie, your international student tita. I'll see you on the next vlog. Bye!